beautiful, though. Beautiful, but it doesn't look like how it does here.
No.
It doesn't feel like that either. You know, if you hate winter weather, we got lucky today. If you love winter weather, then we lost today. Depends on how you want to consider it. But either way, it was mild out there today. We had temperatures back into the 50s. Typically this time of year, we're talking about highs in like the mid 40s. And right now, we're tracking just a couple of rain showers. But look at those temperatures to the north. 32 in Burlington, Vermont, 33 in Portland, Maine, 31 in Bangor, Maine. We're at 49 in Hartford, 50 in New York City. So certainly some big differences just a little farther south. Northern New England still dealing with some snow showers, another fresh batch of snow moving across the Adirondacks that will soon make its way into Vermont. And we also have these lighter showers that are a bit lake enhanced here that have been streaming across New York. Some of these starting to work their way into Connecticut. We're zoomed in right now on First Alert Live radar, looking at some light showers in the Heartland area, moving closer to Southwick, Massachusetts, North Granby. We also have some light showers in the Quiet Corner. These ones much lighter as they move into Woodstock and eventually toward the 395 corridor and Thompson. We don't really have much of a concern with these overall. We expect them to work their way on out. Very minor impacts, if any at all. And then we should dry things out overnight tonight. Here's a live look on our iCam in Hartford. 49 degrees, wind out of the west right now at 5 miles an hour. In New London, we're talking about winds out of the west-southwest at 6 miles an hour, still 48 degrees. This little bit of a breeze making it feel perhaps just a little bit chillier outside now that the sun has set. But throughout the evening, what we expect is mostly cloudy skies, giving way to partly cloudy skies as clouds continue to decrease by daybreak tomorrow. We go from the mid-40s to the lower 40s by about midnight, and then 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're talking 30s statewide, perhaps even some upper 20s across the Litchfield Hills, about 30 to 35 elsewhere. Again, decreasing cloudiness overnight. That means a bright start to the day tomorrow. Keep the jackets nearby, and tomorrow we will be about 10 degrees cooler than where we ended the day today. Recess likely outside since it will be dry, but temperatures are only expected to top out in the 40s. First Alert Futurecast not showing much, if any, shower activity later on tonight. There's the decreasing clouds before they return tomorrow evening, so it's a very short window where we get to enjoy a bit of sunshine. On Wednesday morning, we'll be tracking some snow showers to our east. These will be attempting to work their way closer to us, but without much moisture outside of perhaps a flurry. We're expecting dry weather to persist. We're now 17 days away from the winter solstice. We still have 11 minutes of daylight to lose. Our earliest sunsets of the year begin tomorrow and go through Monday of next week. And then after that, we will actually gain just a little bit of daylight on the second half of the day, but in the morning, sunrises are still getting later. So perhaps an isolated flurry Wednesday, no impacts there. Temperatures only in the 30s inland both Wednesday and Thursday, at the shoreline lower 40s. By Friday, we're back into the 40s, much closer to average for this time of year. Partly sunny skies for essentially the entire week outside of the increasing clouds tomorrow. Saturday looking great, back in the mid 50s, and we're giving you the first alert that Sunday is again trending to be a very wet day, and we could be talking about a bit of wind on Sunday too. So if you've been reaching perhaps for the chapstick a bit more than usual the last few days because of the drier weather, well, we do get a bit of a break from that after Wednesday. Things will be pretty dry through Wednesday before humidity returns, even as we get into the end of the week and the weekend especially. Much better timing. Consistency between the models here, now showing that the greatest risk for rain is going to be Sunday, perhaps a lingering shower into Monday, and beyond that, temperatures will be much closer to normal. We'll have one final check of the 7-day forecast coming up.